about time that we get started.
Oh,
Welcome to
fuck.
the stream if you are here. If you are not here, you are still welcome, as always. Today is a wonderful Sunday, in which it's Draw Steel. Yeah, remember that thing that we were supposed to be doing on Wednesday that we didn't do, and so we ended up being dwarves for a little bit, I think? Yeah, that. Well, we're doing Draw Steel today. And we're going to do it again on Wednesday, so fun
Yeah,
stuff.
double dip, double dip.
But I believe that we're all here despite Beetle and Gizmo's names being out. Oh,
What the
maybe that
fuck?
was just them showing us like AFK for a second. Hey, Gizmo's moving now.
Oh, well.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
just
I
us.
think it was just showing that you were like away. Like that's weird. I never noticed that. Like your name just kind of
Test,
grays
test,
out if you haven't
Williams.
done anything. Thank you,
Hello?
Williams.
Let me bring my
Wait, gray's
shield.
out.
Hello.
Huh?
Is this thing on?
But we are back for some more Draw Steel. Now, last we had left off, despite their best efforts, and a very well done combat, the worst has come to pass. And Korsakov the First seems to have returned after unsuccessfully stopping them from leaving. The party is left beaten and limping their way back towards Behdmeten. For at least the start of this, I will actually be back to.
Ooh, the tomb.
The two.
Wait, can we go to the other part of the tomb? The outside of it?
Hey, you want to go to the outside instead? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's go to the outside of the tomb.
Right. Just activate that then.
Oh man, yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
Finally, some fresh air. Oh, God.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Here we
Let's
are
do-
now.
What's with these homies
Entertain
dissing
us.
my girl?
Why do they got a front?
Oh my god, please don't fucking get me started.
What did we ever do to these guys
Oh god.
that made them act like a cunt? Hey, he's already out here.
No, I know.
Alright.
You all walk out of the tomb, and as you are leaving, the people that you had left in the first room have since fled. There are a lot of the people that you had also knocked out had since been removed. So it's clear that a couple of them did not make it out before Korsakov had come by.
Uh-oh.
But of course,
Just
by
a
the
little
time that
Assuming-
you
I remember tying this lady up specifically.
No, we're
Can't
gonna
imagine
say that
that went
they
well.
we're gonna say
Oh,
that they
yep.
got untied and left.
Oh, so we don't see desiccated corpses
Oh, okay, good.
out here.
I mean, you could if you want. If that is
I
your
really hope
preference.
I
we
mean,
didn't.
that's up to Korsakov, really.
No, I imagine that the way I imagined it was, as they're getting people out, they would see these people, them tied up against the wall, untie them, and be like, "Yeah, no, let's get the fuck out of here. This ain't worth it." But obviously, Korsakov did not bother sticking around, and I am going. lock that if I can.
Lock what?
The thing you're trying to do, you little shithead.
The fidget toy.
What do you mean lock that? I haven't done anything. No.
No, I know.
So why do you need to lock it?
Yeah, why do you need to lock it?
What do you need to lock
No
it?
reason. No reason. Fine.
Locking Oriamis and
Yeah.
Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
God damn it! If I lock,
Yeah.
I can't lock it open.
you
Fuck.
can pull them out of there.
Oh, here,
and
don't
then
worry.
lock it
I've
behind
got
them.
you. I closed it.
Congratulations, you're out of there.
Closed.
As the tomb
Quick,
closes
lock it.
shut behind us.
There. All right. But as you all step outside, Garak does actually come around the corner upon your arrival. And she runs over to you all, and it's like, you live. You live.
Well,
A little
Sorry,
worse for wear.
you
but
are whole.
Yeah, that
No, you're
technically
whole.
counts.
I feel quite filled
that
actually.
counts.
incredible.
Full filled even.
I do not know what to do. I'm glad you are safe. We
Well, there's a-
run.
Don't know how much we can run, but if we make haste, we might be able to catch Korsakef before he reaches Behdmeten. So I agree. Let's
You go back?
go.
We go back.
Why?
Because Korsakef still lives.
He
Is
escaped
danger.
because of our fault. We couldn't stop the ritual.
I see. You are heroes. Heroes die.
Yeah, well, if you're lucky enough, it doesn't stop you.
We need to protect those who don't deserve to die.
I'd
Not
rather
yet.
die trying than just.
Wait.
We can talk and walk at the same time.
All right. Sorry, it takes a second
Obviously, the
to
husks
form
are still supporting.
Yeah.
to form my words.
I can't move them.
We're just going to assume that that's happening.
Yeah, we're assuming that's happening.
What is your native tongue?
Kalyak. My people, we speak Kalyak. Now, this is actually a good moment to bring up languages. Now, you all did get the opportunity to select languages upon character creation. If any of you have none of those are technically solidified until the moment that you actually go to speak them, unless you really want it to be part of your character. As such, if anybody wants to either has a language that they have not chosen, or if you want to change a language that you have not yet used to Kalyak in order to be like, I understand them, I know that language, this is a good moment to do so. I know that some of you actually do have languages that were not put on. For example, while it doesn't prompt you to do so, Oriamas, I believe that you actually were supposed to get 2 languages. One from being a Hakan, your
Mhm.
Hakan culture, and another one from, was it your tactician? No, it was your gladiator background.
Gladiator.
Yeah, so you actually do have a spare language. It is going to be assumed that you all will be able to speak Kalian, which is the common tongue. So that is not a language that you need to take up with this. So if anybody wants to pick that up, that is up to you. I think the only person that actually already put in all their languages was Celis, with the first language and mind speech.
I mean, it would make steel for Oriamas to know.
Do you want
But,
Oriamas
you
to
know,
want to know Kaliak?
let me go back through and read the... I just had to open the book. I'm taking a look at it real quick.
Kaliak is a language that is mostly associated with the orcs. It's kind of an offshoot of a dwarven language, which is more associated with engineering. A lot of it comes
Mhm.
from just orcish culture and how are they are very passionate about everything that they do. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that you would have heard the language or even learned the language in the arena, as
Yeah,
the orcs,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, like the orcs that don't like throw themselves into a passion like music or crafting will throw themselves into battle and hardening
Combat.
themselves and just really putting themselves all of themselves into it. So it's something would that you'd pass by.
He has a very rudimentary knowledge of Kaliak, but he knows enough to speak some of it.
That's perfectly fine.
Conversational Kaliak.
All right.
Conversational
In
Kaliak.
that
Let me
case,
actually
if
go
you
add that.
yeah, go ahead and add Kaliak to your languages then.
And then the other one, of course, is
Vorik,
Vorik.
which is Hakan. It's the basic Hakan
There we go.
language.
There we are.
I think pretty much all of you did actually pick at least the language that is most associated with your ancestry. Even Peregrine
in a
actually picking
way.
up Kalian, yeah.
Technically, I've still got 2 languages in my back pocket from a noble house and mage's apprentice.
But yeah, in that case then, yeah, she says Kaliak is the language of my people. I learned very little Kalian for travel purpose.
Mhm. I may not be the most fluid, but I may be able to speak some.
Are you saying this in Kaliak?
Yes.
She actually looks over at you, somewhat surprised. You speak my language, she says, much faster and much more clearly, Kaliak.
Kaliak.
She says, I rarely do I run into anyone who speaks my tongue outside of an engineering background. It is hard for me to express the danger that you are in, but you seem determined.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Many civilians. Yeah. Yes. I think that's the right word for it. Civilians will fall if we do not stop what's about to happen in Behdmeten.
I understand. I owe you all my life. I want to return the favor.
Having your company would be fantastic. Any extra pair of hands would be great.
Flirty.
Well, I want to help. You will need to tell me how I can help. I and she motions to herself. I can fight. However, I also can craft. She kind of like makes like a small like hammering motion. She pulls out a like the small axe that she was wielding in the tomb. I make my own weapons. Uh, blacksmithing.
Oh, yes.
If I am of no use to you in combat, I can instead assist with your weaponry. But I cannot do both. Whatever I do, I will devote myself wholly to it. But I need to know what you need.
Before I make a decision, I turn to the party. They would like to know whether or not they would be better suited right now for combat or craft making us weapons. I think having their companionship during this combat would be most useful.
Now, to clarify, with this decision, um, this is basically what she is offering is either to be a retainer, similar to how Hector follows around Peregrine. One of you could gain Garak as a permanent retainer. They will follow you into combat, and they will take a turn alongside you in the same way that Hector fights alongside Peregrine. And they will grow with the party, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you decide instead to take them on as an artisan, they will just instead of taking or following you into combat, they will remain at whatever your base of operations is, and they will actually work on projects while you are out and about, and assist you with projects that involve their particular artistry. So if you were to make a weapon or a piece of armor that would fall under Garak's profession, they would be able to assist you with that process. Whatever you prefer, just also understand that they count as an additional hero, so if they follow you into combat, then that will give me even more points to use against you.
Specifically EV, not Malice.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't give me more malice points to work with. It just gives me more like points to build an encounter with. Basically, increasing the number of enemies, increasing the difficulty, adding in more like terrain objects and whatnot. But it does balance out because you would have a lot more to work with.
You've seen some of the shit I've pulled with Hector.
Finally, while Garak was being controlled by Rise during that the previous combat, Rise does not necessarily need to be the one to take on the retainer if somebody else wants to take them on, but you can only have one at a time. So if you take on Garak, you're not going to be able to take on another one.
I personally feel we could better use them as a crafter.
Hmm.
Also, if it would help with the discussion or making decisions, I'm just actually going to give everybody ownership over Garok so that you can actually look at their exact stats
Hmm.
and exactly what they can do. Um, Obviously, they're not in a good way right now. But do you have any opinions on this beetle?
Uh, I don't know. I kind of lean more towards using them as an artisan myself.
Okay. Obviously, Gizmo, you do already have a follower, only a retainer with you in the form of Hector. But you have actually gotten to play around with retainers a lot more as well. You actually know how useful they can be in combat if you want to weigh in on it.
Well, I'll tell you my full thoughts here. I can definitely see the merits in uh, taking Garok either way. From what I can see in combat, she's mostly something of a bruiser with a little extra staying power thanks to Relentless. Kind of filling a similar role as Hector. Not that that's a bad thing to have necessarily. Now, specifically, the way artisan retainers work is normally you only get to make project rolls for a project during a respite. But if you have a follower who is like an artisan or a sage or one that's a crafting follower instead, then basically every day that passes, they get to make a roll to essentially work on the project while you're away. So it can really accelerate things if there are specific treasures that we're wanting to work on. But if there aren't particular treasures that we're trying to eye and trying to get done in like on an accelerated time frame, then having an extra retainer would just one give us a little bit more tactics to work with, and also, as Rambles was saying earlier, make the fights bigger and more, which could also be a lot of fun. Um,
Hmm.
so those are my main thoughts either way. There's merits and downsides to both.
And it's also worth noting that there will be more opportunities for you to get artisans of your choice later on as part of the game. Anytime that you gain renown, if you get a breakpoint of 3, so 3, 6, 9, you can get um, a retainer, a follower of your choice, either in the form of a retainer or an artisan that you specifically choose and make so that it's more specific to exactly what you are looking for. So you
Yeah,
don't need to take them on as an artisan right now unless you believe that they will actually be able to help you with something that you're needing.
which I will say to kind of piggyback off of that a little bit. Um, in addition, like an artisan is a pretty basic kind of follower. Like you don't need to really pick and choose your exact artisan as much, because you could probably make a pretty good. I'm assuming she's got the smithing skill or blacksmithing.
Yeah, like
skill.
she doesn't have it directly on her sheet
Yeah,
because that's very difficult
she's
to do
in
with
retainer
this.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she would have, basically just general blacksmithing. So she
Yeah.
would be able to work with pretty much any kind of metals for like armor and weapons.
Exactly, and that is useful. But also, it's easy enough to get a follower that just has smithing. If you're looking at the Orc Charger and you really like that, um, it might be a good idea to get that. Or, there are so many types of retainers that you can possibly get. You could really go shopping for one and find like a specific one that looks really cool to you. Alternatively, of course, if you just like Garak as a character and want her to be more active in the adventures, then having her as a retainer would probably do that.
That too. There is actually an ability, like her main ability, just for clarification, is Notched Axe. It is a charge ability, which actually means that it can be used as part of a charge. So that basically lets you move 8 spaces as part of it, and then attack with it, um, as well, or even like attack at range. Like you can move 8 spaces, charge to move 8 spaces, and then throw your axe five spaces more, um, which is pretty fucking crazy. I remember looking at that. Um, but yeah, the decision will be permanent. You don't really have to make the decision right this second if you want to ruminate on it a little bit. Um, but just understand that when you go out for your next combat or adventure, I need a decision at that moment. Because
Because if Garak's an artisan, she's not coming with us. She is
yeah,
staying in Behdmeten to work on stuff while we're out. She only stays with us as a character if she's a retainer.
and this will be a permanent decision. Like I said, she's gonna throw herself into whatever you choose wholeheartedly.
Majority seem to go towards artisan, though.
Those two towards artisan. Um, Gizmo didn't really give a direct yes or no. But also at the same time, it doesn't necessarily need to be a full group decision as well. Like Oriyamas, if you want to keep Garak around, or you believe that they would be very crucial to your combat strategy, giving you more to do, you can just say that you take them. Yeah, but you'd have
There's
even
plenty
more.
to do.
Which that is another thing, like, if she's not running around with us as a retainer, that does give us less on our plate to manage in a combat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do want to ask one clarifying question.
Yes.
So, whereas, normally followers are hero-based, based on, getting renown and everything, would she just be like a team follower if she was an artisan, or would she still be assigned to somebody to work on their project specifically?
She would basically be a team follower, if she were to stick around at
Basically,
Behdmeten.
on any given day, we decide as a group what project she's working on.
Pretty much.
Okay. Interesting.
I wanted to add a little bit of extra potential value if you decide to go that route rather than just being just a basic follower. But she says, oh, she does say as much though to you. She says, I you do not need to decide now, but I want to help. I want to help however I can. Just let me know. Until then, I follow.
Of course.
And the walk, you all know, is going to be an unfortunately long one. It took roughly an hour to get out here, it's going to be longer getting back on account of you all being bruised and beaten. And it's going to feel even longer knowing that Korsakef the First is still out there. And as far as you can tell, Peregrine, he is very much on his way to Behdmeten. He's definitely going to reach it long before you arrive.
Best make haste then. Though, seeing as we've got a long and arduous walk ahead of us, I see no reason to walk in silence. Celis, you
Mhm.
seemed particularly touched by the death of those cultists in the tomb. You're holding up okay?
I'm holding up fine. I just don't see the point in senseless killing. People get pushed to do stupid things and make stupid choices, not because of their wants, but because of their needs. Just killing someone that could have had a chance to redeem themselves is not something that we should do. We're supposed to be heroes.
I do mostly agree with you. Unfortunately, I feel you may be finding redemption where there is none. Those people
My
were willing
people
to die for their
are
cause.
supposed to not have redemption.
Your people don't need redemption. They are the heroes of old. If we had those dragon phalanx around now, we wouldn't be in the shit that we're in. It's a
Yet
shame
we
what
still get
happened,
hunted down like animals.
but the people still love you. Don't forget that.
I just want to give others the chance to redeem themselves. I've seen what desperation does to you. I've been there.
Trust me, as have I. I definitely know the price of a life, and don't think for a moment that I take it cheaply. I've given my own in dire circumstances, and I wouldn't take one if I didn't think it was the right thing to do. Definitely keep your ideals close. Let them guide you, but don't let them blind you. When things need to be done, sometimes it's us heroes who have to get our hands dirty to prevent greater ills. Isn't that right, Shiver?
Yeah, something to that effect. Sometimes you have to focus on the salvation of the innocent, and sometimes that comes at the price of the lives of the oppressors.
Couldn't have said it as macabre myself.
And despite it all, we won't be able to save those before Korsakov gets to Behdmeten.
With any luck, we will. Although, I've faced that man before, and I definitely worry what might face us when we get there.
I only hope the township is able to hold them at bay until we arrive.
Well,
We can hope. Speaking of, I've still got that vengeance mark on Korsakov.
yes, you
How's he
do.
doing? Are we gaining on him?
Shit.
Probably not.
Uh,
Probably
definitely
not.
not gaining. Though with the walk pretty quickly turning a bit more quiet as Oriamis's comments kind of weigh on everyone. Dark cloud. You continue to track. And eventually, the mark does reach Behdmeten. Oh, not in Behdmeten. It actually stops just short.
He's reached the city. Perhaps, he'll be skewered with a ballista any moment now.
Wishful thinking.
About all I've got from this far away.
Only more reason for us to go a little quicker.
Couldn't agree more. And you'll see the husks start to kind of pick up their pace. Kind of limping Peregrine and Oriamus down the road, driving them more than anything.
And as you continue on, you notice that the mark for Korsaketh still does not enter the city. It doesn't leave, but it seems to remain motionless. Every once in a while, it seems to pace back and forth.
They seem to be doing a valiant effort of holding him off. He's not breached the city's walls yet.
Or do you think he's
And-
waiting on us?
I don't think he's the type to wait.
I believe he has waited many years. He may wait more. How long did he wait in that tomb?
What year is it? That's right,
Genuinely
come
don't
up with
know
a
the
year. You're on the spot, motherfucker. Go on.
Check your calendar.
We're living in the
752.
far off future of 2020.
2020.
Could've just gone 20XX.
My God.
20XX.
No wonder
my
there's a
God.
plague.
Oh,
No,
far future.
we're doing far future where people still had hope for humanity.
In 2020?
Yeah. No, I'm not
There's
saying that we
hope.
had hope
The
for
hope for you.
humanity in 2020. I'm saying we had like old shows and movies would set like a time frame of like, oh yeah, in like 30 years we'll have skyscrapers and flying cars.
Oh, that kind of
Wow.
future. Gotcha.
Wishful thinking.
Well, assuming that Garok said insert year here,
Yes.
certainly a few decades.
Insert placeholder year.
I don't know the exact day he died. I was unfortunately preoccupied at the time, but he's been dead many years yet. Behdmeten is...
You talk
yes?
as if you know him. Personal?
Personal and political. You see Peregrine kind of look around to get their bearings. I'm originally from a land known as Amberfield. It would be about, I'd say, a week's travel that way. And they kind of point north on the King's Road. Of course, these days it would probably take a little bit longer, and you likely wouldn't make the trip without being injured or worse, but once upon a time it was a nice little travel under good King Omond. Korsakef and his forces sacked our land, burned our villages, enslaved some of our people, killed many others, and it was all I could do to hold him and his brigands off, while what we could save of our people escaped. And in doing so, he struck me down. I got better, of course. And you see Peregrine kind of give a sarcastic smile. But something about waking up on a pile of your dead countrymen tends to sour your opinion of the person who put you there. I'm sure you understand.
Hero in life, in death. Honorable.
If only. So what about you, Oriamus? Where are you from?
Where do I begin? I didn't leave home much. Everything was in the walls of the Colosseum. I never had to leave. Everything came to me. I simply had to enter, put on a show, and everything was provided to me.
You come from the arena.
Of course.
People, baby.
It explains the chiseled form.
You know, I can relate, Oriamus. Being you see, Peregrine's chin kind of goes up a little bit. Of noble birth myself. I had quite a
Noble.
lot. Oh yes. Oh, Amberfield wasn't just my home. It was my family's land. The Goldwins ruled Amberfield before Korsakef took it from us. We're not much of a noble house these days, but we're still kicking.
I wouldn't say that what I did in the arena made me noble at all, unfortunately. I was just very good at putting those in front of me in their place.
You know, some would say the life of a noble isn't so different. Less violent, of course.
Mm.
And honestly, the performances I gave oftentimes were creating sparkles and fairies for the children to look on in awe during the Jubilee, but it had a similar effect.
Mm-hmm.
Keep people going, keep them entertained for another little while. How about you, Shiver? You come from a line of privilege yourself?
Not particularly, no. No, my people were quite militaristic. I was raised to be someone of some eminence in the military sense, but not because I was born into it, because I was forced to have to work for it. Not something I ever had any real passion for, but the skill set is well, transferable, shall we say.
Yes, I can say I've seen quite a bit of that skill set in action.
Or
Unfortunately.
a very scary shadow.
I was the scariest back home, yes. There's a big part of why I had to leave.
Speaking
Jiminy
of,
knew your name.
Many knew my name, yes.
Mm.
You do your job well enough, enough underground, and, well, the sunlight penetrates the earth.
Oh, is that an old Woad Elf proverb?
Something like that, yes. Try to stay out of the light now for more than one reason.
Yes, I feel you're not the only one. Celis, Akron, did you, learn much about the exploits of the Dragon Phalanx growing up?
I too wonder how you have not one but two worm whites.
There isn't much left of home. Well, there is no thing left of home. It's just my sister and I left. And you'll see um, the sister turn sideways, trying to ignore the conversation. There, there was a time when we could share in the stories with the townsfolk and everyone we lived with. But you all know how well it pays to hunt people like us. It didn't take long for even us that lived in the middle of nowhere to get found. The only reason why I'm alive is because my sister sacrificed herself for me. It's the real reason why she can't speak.
Was it battle mutts? Uh, uh, that's not war dogs.
I wouldn't know. I was too young.
Harrigan's
Now,
gonna
my sister
kinda...
could know better, but she can't say much about it.
Harrigan's gonna have their husk kind of guide them over to Celis. Just gently put a hand on his back. Take heart. These are truly dark times, but if we show perseverance and valor, like the Dragon Knights of old, then Ajax will be but a passing shadow.
I can only hope to even be half as heroic.
I did
You know, I
pick
never
that.
saw them in battle, but I did catch a glimpse of a Dragon Knight or two in their shining armor back when I was a child. Truly a sight to behold, and I can tell you now, seeing both of you in the throes of combat, you're living up to it.
Thank you. I I really want to be a hero. I really want to save everyone.
Even from my home, we heard many stories of the worm whites and their deeds. Very strong, very proud. I wish I could have seen them. I feel as though I have.
Celis will just fucking strike a pose and be like, maybe you won't have to wait for too long.
Here, here.
I am going to be a hero, just like those of old.
Mm.
Fellis, is it
Indeed.
you are hero to me? Thank you.
I'm glad we could save you, even if we couldn't do more.
We can do. We will.
You still got a mummy to put down, don't we?
We sure do.
which it's at that moment that finally your mark moves, not into Behdmeten, but away. It seems as though whatever Korsakef was doing, he's finished.
But he
Thankfully,
never went into the city,
he
right?
never went into the city, no. And the direction that he's walking, there is no intersecting path.
Oriamus, I feel my wishful thinking might have borne fruit.
Since you know Korsakov better than any of us, is there anything that he can cast on the populace without having to go into the city?
When I knew him, he was a powerful conduit to, well, Korsakev. The Ultra Lich, if you're not familiar. But no, as far as I know, he did not wield any magic that could level a city.
Not level, but curse those inside.
Nor that, as far
Oh,
as I
good.
know. Anyway,
Okay.
he liked to be up close and personal and, get his own hands dirty.
Hmm.
It's not his style.
I see. Well, there is only one way that we are able to see.
To
Hurry,
Behdmeten.
we're almost there.
And with the remaining walk ahead of you, finally leave from the forest and are able to get a good Behdmeten. And as a blessing, the city does in fact stand. It seems as though it is entirely untouched. The only signs that that there was anything, well, that Korsakef was even trying to do anything, might be the dust storm that has started to roll in, but that doesn't seem right. Amir, no, that's not under Korsakef's usual know this, Peregrine. For whatever reason,
Well,
he
no
left.
dark clouds, no swarms of flies. Maybe they drove him off.
I hope.
Seems too easy. There's something wrong.
Either way, if he's not sacking the city now, I'll keep an eye on him. I think we might need to warn whoever's left inside what may yet be coming for them. And perhaps take some shelter from this storm that's gathering.
Coming storm. Yes.
You think someone like Korsakov? I mean, he did have, a dark ritual. I don't think he's still regaining his strength.
He is. I don't think he would be capable of something like this. At least not at this stage. Anyway, controlling the weather was never any Korsakev's forte. They dealt more in death and pestilence.
Hmm.
Now, as you approach the city, I do have to ask, as usual, Celis and Akron, are you going back into like your hoods and just generally trying to hide your
Yes.
form?
We are not chancing it out. The moment we get close enough to the city, we're already trying to cover ourselves.
In that
There
case,
is no
then,
question about that.
I will say that from here on, unless you tell me otherwise, I will assume that that you are trying to hide yourself. The only exception to this is obviously if you go into combat and do anything that would clearly reveal your form, like dragon breath or whatever. Um, that is going to
Mm-hmm.
like that's obviously going to reveal yourself. Um,
Understandable.
and as you all reach the gates, the guards there uh, see that you are limping forward, um, recognizing you or
Helped
your
along by
group
an
from
army of undead.
uh, they the momentary worry you do see crossing their face about the undead before they just kind of rush for one of them rushes
Hail,
forward
Behdmeten!
um to meet you halfway. Uh, oh my god, do what happened?
Korsakev has returned.
But Korsakev is he his he like stops right in his tracks, and you could see the recognition on his face. Oh,
Hmm.
Quickly,
It was
we
a
must
dark
get inside
ritual.
and warn the
We
city.
couldn't stop it.
get into the city. He rushes rushes over to the guard at the gate, um, and just kind of says a few things to him before entering and coming back out. Says, through the gates. You will have guards assist you to care. We need to get you into into somewhere to heal. You are clearly injured.
Before that, we have to warn Korsakev III. If he can organize the city's defenses, we may be able to prepare for when Korsakev tries to take the city proper. We can heal after that.
He hesitates before nodding. Clearly recognizing the gravity of the situation. Tell the guard that is going to help guide you. He will take you to the palace. Um, we will send word ahead of you. And he just kind of motions you all through. And true to his word, right on the other side of the gate, you are met by a small troop of guards. Looks like 4 in total that form up around you in order to make sure that wherever you walk will in fact be unbothered. And you limp your way up to the palace. The many steps feel like so many more, but nevertheless, you make it up to the top. And the man that gave you the information for this quest, seeing you all just in your current state, um, says the Korsakev III is waiting for. And he kind of like looks over at the cards, kind of shoos them away. I will guide them from here. Come, come.
Good news. The tomb is empty. Though I have some bad news as well. The tomb is empty.
We may know why it is empty as well.
That's
With haste, man, with haste.
that is bad news. I can only walk so fast. Damn it. But he leads you in, and just through the doors, you enter what appears to be a throne room. It's not overly elaborate. More than anything, it seems like a room by which Korsakev doesn't spend most of his time. He just comes here to meet with the people if they have things that they need to speak of. And there, sitting upon the throne, is Korsakev III. A man that none of you have had the pleasure of meeting before, though at least Peregrine, you are very familiar with the name. Just put out a picture. There. So you have something to look at.
Dude is shredded.
Mm.
Yeah, jeez.
He
I could grind meat on those.
He stands up from his throne as you enter the room, and says, "Heroes, I have received word that you come bearing ill news,
Yes.
tidings.
Unfortunately.
Well,
Korsakev the First
I must
is
say
not in this
that
tomb.
And why is my grandfather not in his tomb?"
It would seem you have some people amongst you that are unsatisfied with your rule and have decided to enact a dark necromantic ritual to bring back your grandfather. We attempted to stop said ritual, but they were quite insistent, slitting their arms open and bleeding all over the floor in order to complete it.
You would tell me that my people, not only have they partaken in necromancy, but they have defiled my grandfather's tomb and brought back
That's
the man that
The myth.
turned the city into a warmongering throne.
the one and only.
That's about the long and short of it, yeah. You catch on quick.
Well, I believe you're right. That is not good news. What reason do I have to believe that you all did not just sack my grandfather's tomb and come back trying to hide what you have done?
What purpose
were
would we have to do that?
We were trying to complete a quest that was given to us.
I am familiar with the quest.
Are you
Sent
familiar
out-
with your history, Korsakev?
Upon saying that, he looks down and off to the side. I am familiar with our history.
Then you would know
I
of a
just
campaign your grandfather led some many years ago of expansion and rule. Perhaps you'll know of a little region up north called Amberfield, owned by House Goldwyn, and what Korsakev did to that.
He
Because
looks up
now I
at
should
you.
properly introduce myself. My name is Peregrine Augustus Goldwyn Delamort, formerly of House Goldwyn. Your grandfather killed me, and then I had the great misfortune of seeing him climb out of his own tomb where he was interred. Look me in the eyes, man. I'm not lying to you. You are in
He
grave danger. Pun not
he
intended.
takes a seat, and he lets out a heavy sigh. I'm I apologize. I I simply didn't want to believe.
That's
But
alright.
you
I
are
heard you were
right.
different from your grandfather. Is this true?
My grandfather, what he did, built this city. But I have been trying my best to clean up the mess that he and my own father made of our reputation. I I do want Behdmeten to be better. But
Then we're of one mind.
I am all too familiar with my namesake as well. And I believe you are, well, Goldwyn.
Terminally familiar.
I will say, I wish that this news was not brought to me by not only the dead, but the Hakan as well. But I suppose it is something that we needed to hear. What what do you believe we should do? You saw him. Is he coming here?
Came and
Was.
went, I'm afraid.
Came and went. So he was here in the city.
He stopped just
Not in the city, no.
he stopped just outside the city gates, and then he left.
He,
I
he
fear
thinks
he
for a
is
moment.
gathering power.
That that sounds like something that he would do. For as much as he loved to get his hands dirty, and he very much loved his wars,
Hmm?
he was smart. He knew when to strike. He knew when he could take without anyone fighting back. I had heard many. I'd seen through our history books about the great efforts that he put into that night. The night that you would remember as your house falling. I can assure you that he was preparing for that night long before you were even aware of his approach.
Oh,
And
we
I fear
fought
that
him
he might be
for
doing the same.
weeks as he crossed over our lands. It was a deadly campaign, to be sure. But we have one advantage. We know he's coming. And if he thinks he'll take this city without a fight, well, we'll just have to prove him wrong, won't we?
You intend to help.
Of course.
I intend to finish what I could not before my death.
Well, I will not turn down your aid. Though you're in no state to fight.
Fighting comes later. For now, we must build. We need to shore up the city's defenses. We need ballistas, burning oil, hot tar. If there's one thing I have to give Korsakov is that he built quite a strong wall. We need to make sure we use it for all it's worth.
That will be easier said than done. Fortunately, you do have the right of it, that there are many who question my rule. Not that I want to rule over people so much as just make this city better. But all the same, we've had issues with a lot of our guilds taking matters into their own hands. I turn a blind eye to it because I understand that they are just trying to be self-sufficient. And I hope that by being a bit more lenient, they may at some point come around, but clearly that has not happened in a time frame that is useful. I will make preparations. If you are to assist us, I would make sure that our heroes are well fed and taken care of while you remain in our city. And he looks over at the rest of you as well, and kind of stops on Celis and Akron. And a place out of the light, in case you need to lie low.
Yeah. Guess I need a new coat or something to hide myself better. Can't fool a king, I guess.
Oh,
Worry
that old
not.
chestnut.
I hold no ill will toward your kind. As far as I am concerned, you are welcome anywhere in this palace and anywhere in this city. But you understand that you do put a burden on the city by being here. And as such, I only ask that you remain hidden as best as you can. My people will not turn you in, I hope. But I do not want to test them so.
We have no intentions of being a burden. All we want is to help, to be heroes to the people, even if we have to hide who we are.
And heroes you shall be. I look forward to the day that you no longer need to hide yourself among common folk. A day in which Ajax can be seen for what he is. Even more so than he already is. That being just a mortal man that can be laid low by heroes such as yourselves.
That day cannot come any sooner.
Rest for now. At least for a moment. Get your breath. And we will get you some food. Once you are fed, we can discuss how we are going to proceed. He then also looks over at Hector on the other undead and says, do they need their own room, or... I'm sorry. Do they... Can they, like, share a room with you, or... I'm not familiar with your... with your undead.
Yeah, we'll be all right all together. One room is plenty. We don't typically sleep, or eat, or drink, or breathe. In fact, if you have a broom closet, perfectly fine.
We will find you a
That
very
doesn't sound
large
very
broom
comfortable.
closet. And, with a few snaps of his fingers, some guards and assistants come into the room. They will show you to your quarters that we keep prepared for guests. And he gets up and walks away as the guards motion you further into the palace. The guards lead you to a
Despite
the guards lead you to a very large room. One that is, by all accounts, like a house within this building, complete with anything that you may need, with the exception of a kitchen. It's clear that if you need any food, it will more than likely be brought to you on request. There is plenty of room for seating and resting.
good fucking starting.
And it is not long, almost immediately after the guards leave, that some servants will come into the room with food. It's nothing too crazy. They didn't have much time to prepare a full meal, but you have a fine selection of breads, cheeses, and other stable foods. Not a warm meal, but it is definitely a filling one.
Jeez.
Any meal is a good meal. I'm not about to turn down whatever the fuck they're feeding me.
Garrick says through a mouthful of bread, I agree. Heroes eat well. Starved. I was starved for two days.
Yeah, they didn't seem like the kind of people that were trying to, keep you in a good state.
They tied me up. They were ready with knives. As she's talking, it's like she's very like she's moving a lot with her body, making motions the entire time. They said they would slit my throat, my blood, finishing ritual, but preparations needed made. And then as preparations were made, you saved. Appreciation. Again, takes another big bite of bread. This is good bread.
Don't fill up on the
So-
bread. That's how they get you.
That and tying you up with ropes,
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget?
lest we forget.
Um,
Shiver just has this haunted look on their face.
I am the one who does the hunting. Some things do stick with you.
I used to hunt.
Including the bread is full of carbs.
I used to hunt as well. I had a great spear. It was taken from me when I was captured. They broke it over their knees. It was a good spear. She then kind of motions over to like a corner of the room that's got some small like decorations in it, just kind of filling the space. It's not much, but if I am not to join you, I may be able to remain in this room. I can set up station. That would need resources, but I can set up smithing station in room. Roll back carpet. Open windows, of course.
We can cross that bridge when we get there. For now, just enjoy your meal. You went through something stressful. You don't need to think about what to do now, or what you or how to be useful. You can just exist.
I always exist. Until we don't. But I exist
No, you still
now.
exist. Trust me.
And the meal is quite filling. I will say that with this meal, I will allow everybody to regain 1 recovery now. This is very important because currently you have not taken a respite. That would take much longer than this. And that is a decision that you all can make later. But for now, you all get one recovery back, in which you can use. Oriamus, you actually would return to one
You
stamina.
can't use? Okay, got you.
Yep. So you can, in fact, use it if you wish. And if you, for whatever reason, decide that you can push it just a little bit further, you can technically continue to go on without taking a respite. Just understand, obviously, you are not going to get your recoveries back unless you take a respite, which will reset your victories. So, a decision for later. And I'm actually going to say that Garak is just going to use 2 of her recoveries as well. After the meal is finished, you do get notified that Korsaketh III is ready to see you all when you all are ready. Just let them know, and they will send word and guide you to the war quarters. Ah, man. Discord is
I'd
acting
say
up
I'm ready.
again.
Oh, fuck.
Hooray!
Okay, I think we're good
Ah,
now.
shit.
Yeah,
Back.
Discord was
We-
acting up. Alright. So, did you all hear what I said, or?
Get to the quarters.
No.
More quarters.
Okay.
Quarters.
Garak, Garak just says, I will remain here for now. I need some rest.